Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Surprise! We're live with a little bit of breaking news here. Watching the Scrum right now. For Survivor Series.
Conversation starter, and it's tough to look past that. And for me,
Philly special cards. What's up, Spongy?
If our fans want it, if the WWE Universe is excited to have it, then let's go. And we'll figure out the rest of it from there.
Well, here we go. Special report time.
Which I'm sure is why it stayed very tight. You know, there's a lot of speculation.
Well,
of that.
here we go. All right, Brooklyn Joker, there he is. Let's talk about it. He's back. I was just talking about wait until Thursday to talk about it. I figured let's go ahead and pop on and discuss it. CM Punk returns to AEW tonight. You love it or hate him, he is back. Right now, Triple H is talking about it. He's saying everybody changes. It's a different company now.
We're all on the same even starting ground.
It's going to be interesting who he's going to face, who he's going to go after. Will he cause issues?
Yeah, I'm interested to see that myself. I know whatever it is.
I'm going to talk during the Scrum. We're going to
It'll be exciting.
see what's the future. I mean, I will talk Thursday more about the show.
And I'm thrilled.
Hey, I wouldn't mind if he goes after that. We did see a fake cash in tonight. But they saved it to the very end. It looked like the show was over, and then the music hit.
Thank you. Hi, Nick Hausman, House of Wrestling.
Nick Hausman's question.
Kind of follow up on Emily's question there. How much of this was something that you were pushing for as opposed to TKO was pushing for, and Ari was pushing for? Obviously, the dynamic.
So he's asking who was pushing for this? TKO?
No push from anybody.
He said no push from anybody.
WWE. It's
What's up, halftime?
myself, Nick Khan.
Chris?
To be honest, very few people knew about it past that.
He said very few people knew about it.
You know, it's a funny thing now because all of a sudden there's like this mystery entity behind
I think a lot of
WWE.
people are interested
Yeah.
to kind of know how that dynamic is working. That's why I asked.
Very rarely do they have two big returns tonight. Three, actually, because R-Truth came back.
Trusted to do our thing.
Randy Orton made his return.
What we feel is
And right at the end of the show, CM Punk came out. And there you see the picture.
To be honest, I'm probably the top people at TKO were watching the show going, holy.
They said he thinks even the people in TKO thought holy shit when he came out.
So
I don't.
it's a
It's very interesting. It's definitely going to get everyone talking, polarizing, whether you love him or hate him. We talked about it on the podcast with CJ on Thursday or Friday. I'm sorry, normally Thursday. That if he came back, oh well. If he didn't, oh well. But Twitter X is blowing up. Everybody is out there. Their 2 cents worth.
And if I have anything to do with it and have any say in it, we're going to make it bigger than it's ever been before. Second row.
Hi,
Hi.
Alex Lajas from Queen of the Ring and Church of Joshi. I wanted to switch gears for a little bit. I know we're talking about Punk. I wanted to get into the women's division because
So they're gonna.
you have a good eye for Joshi.
Gav's in the house.
With, Io Sky as
Yeah.
women's champion.
It was pretty predictable in the middle of the show.
Japan. There are rumors that a big talent, Julia from Japan.
I'm gonna drop the StreamYard link if anyone wants to come in and talk about it.
It's a funny thing is like, I didn't even know there was a term Joshi thing. Like, I didn't even know that was a term until like a couple of years ago where I was like, what is that? Anyways, I see that all the time. To me, it's just like, it's what we do, right?
We're talking about the women's division right now.
They're talent athletes that work globally. And whether we're pulling athletes out of NIL, out of colleges and training them from the ground up, or whether we're
So
seeing somebody that we think is an amazing
So,
performer that's working.
Triple H is talking on the Scrum right now. It just happened at the end of the show. Big shout out to anybody in the chat. If you're checking this later, I know it's late at night. A lot of the guys from the podcast are actually at Collision and Rampage and ROH that was taped tonight here in Pittsburgh. I was sitting at home watching both.
Push the envelope of what they believe and what they can do and the stories that they can tell. So to me, it's, sometimes we look in a specific place. I don't look at a specific place. The globe is where I look and where we look and where our recruiters look and where our team looks. And
crazy stuff. I mean, I was on the podcast on the Hardcore Sports Network saying pretty lackluster war games. I'm an old school war games person. I want to see the top of the cage and a little more brutality. Of course, in WWE, you get a little bit of a watered down version of it.
Hello, Steve Hall from
Here we go.
Wrestling News Co. With Jade Cargill missing from TV recently,
So Jade Cargill brought up in a question.
Fourth because we're seeing her on NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. Now we really haven't seen her. Thank you so much for moving.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I couldn't decide.
I know.
which way to
So
go. Yeah.
the question was, we got teased about Jade Cargill and then she never showed up.
So Jade is. I have no less belief in her now than I did then. It's interesting when.
So he's saying he has a lot of belief in Jade.
And where she would land, but what the development was. I want to make sure that no matter what is thrown at Jade Cargill, she's ready. And at no fault of her own, I think that she was limited in that, right? So the idea is, we exposed her, we made her be seen. People are understanding and they're waiting and they're excited for her to come. And when she does, it's going to be massive.
So he says whenever Jade Cargill does arrive, it's going to be massive. MSW in the building.
I don't want a pitch to get thrown her that she's never seen before. I want, no matter what that pitch is, she's going to crack that thing out of the park, because you can just see it in her. That's the presence she has. That's the star she is. You get to see her do anything in WWE, and yet I could probably name 5-10 people here where you would go like, "Ooh, that's a dream match," right?
So he's talking about possible dream matches for Jade Cargill.
For her to, when she says, "I'm ready," I'm ready.
So for those who missed it, big return tonight. R-Truth make his return.
Fred Slow, CBS Sports. Going back to CM Punk, you were talking about it. His claims of when he left 9 years ago, he wanted to return R-Truth and Randy Orton. John Moxley recently made some comments about protocol and pro wrestling related to a concussion he had. What are your thoughts on
He's bringing up John Moxley and concussion protocol now in a question.
in his comments?
Well, I won't say anything about his comments because I don't know what he went through or the situation.
Miz fan.
About WWE.
Nobody's beating Gunther.
I will put our
Yeah, the middle matches are pretty predictable. Just like I said the other night, I thought it'd be pretty predictable, the middle matches of tonight's Survivor Series. We'll get in depth on Thursday with a review with the boys, but like I said before, regardless if you like or hate CM Punk, this is pretty big news. I was pretty excited to see Orton back. I was glad to see Orton back, and he looked great. Randy Orton looked phenomenal.
regularly, but our referees, our crew, our staff are trained to see it, and we don't.
Hey, where'd CM Punk? Where'd he go? There he
I
is.
think you saw, just off the top of my head, a few months ago, there's a match with Rey Mysterio, and Rey got a concussion.
So I want your thoughts. What do you guys think about the return of CM Punk? Is it good? Is it bad? Will it be,
That was a big
something
storyline
they will regret?
The whole thing.
Will it be something
Saw it happen.
that will work out? Will he be part-time? Will they keep him out of the locker room?
Just roll the punches, change what we need to change. This is all about its longevity. It's about health of our performers. It's about their careers.
He's talking about how important the longevity of their career and their health is.
After you're done in that ring. So when we see that stuff, we're very diligent about it. When
Hey, what's up, Monstar?
Hello.
I mean, I can't get Doc to come here, so I got the second best thing.
Well, yin and yang.
Doc is they're actually at the Pittsburgh AEW show tonight.
Oh no, they're at the wrong show apparently.
Yeah. Until the main event, I thought this was a pretty lackluster Survivor Series. I don't know what you thought about it.
See, I rather enjoyed it. I don't know. I can't place exactly what it was. Maybe it's the nostalgia thing with my head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Survivor Series has always been big for me.
Yeah, I miss the old 4-on-4 eliminations. I'm a War Games lover, but this is not my daddy's War Games. You know what I'm saying? It's a watered down type of. I get it. This show was for the casual fan, in my opinion. The 3 middle matches were very predictable. I mean, did anybody think Rhea was going to lose or Gunther?
No.
I mean, the matches were good. Don't get me wrong. It was a good show, but I wouldn't say great. I went on to a podcast, said they need something big in this main event, whether it's a cash in for Priest because Seth is beat down or this guy returns. And they did do it. So Twitter's like X is blowing up right now. I mean, what do you think? Like, what's your first instinct on knowing that CM Punk is in WWE now? Do you think it's a good thing, bad thing?
Jury's out.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird, isn't it?
It's weird. Yeah, that's the perfect describing word for me right now. It's weird.
Anything can happen in pro wrestling. I mean, Triple H just said it. He was like, the first question about Punk, he said, it's a new era. It's a new company. People change. So,
it's right out of the playbook from Vince McMahon. McMahon is always good to do what's best for business, what the fans want. Well, not what the fans want for winning and losing.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, this will get everyone talking about WWE for sure right now. I mean, they don't talk about Roman as much. They're going to talk about what are they going to do with this guy? How is he back? It's polarizing, I think, is the best word. You either love him or hate him.
And either way, TKO is going to be very, very, very happy about this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, advertise Punk for Raw, it's going to get huge ratings.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been it was 9 years that he was gone before he came back to AEW. He was there a couple of years. So this is like 11 years since he's been in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to love, I mean, wrestling. It gives you that. I mean, I always want, I was telling the guys on a podcast, I want a surprise or I want some big return or something. You know what I mean? And I didn't think they were going to give it to us tonight. Normally the WWE formula is if they're announcing one big return, that's the big return. And it was Orton. He looked great.
I was almost thinking at the end, me and Maddie were watching the final match. I'm like, is it possible? Could Big E be coming out instead of Orton?
Big E was at a football game yesterday playing the drum to start off. There's one of the rivalries in college football where they bang a bass drum. He was there. He did it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he had this big harness on. So I'm thinking he's in good shape. So I hope we see him back soon too.
I was thinking he was going to be the Orton, you know what I mean, in the match.
Yeah, they did do the tease too, where they didn't bring out Orton out for a regular entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Wait to the end, so you think it's Punk. And at that point, I thought they're not going to bring out Punk.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't think so either.
They got me with a surprise. I still had this show at like a C because the women's War Games, I think, and people are disagreeing with me everywhere already. I think it was one of the worst War Games ever because I don't like those top of the rope spots where everyone's like, oh, for 2 minutes until they fall. And,
Yeah. They all have to line up at the bottom.
Yeah.
In order so they catch.
There was some good story in there with it. I think Bayley's going to be on her way out because she took the pin of that group.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought they were going to turn on her there after the match.
Yeah, me too. I thought, that's what I want. I want something to talk about. I mean, there was nothing noteworthy throughout the show, in my opinion, until the main event.
I noticed they went for that stupid move that they always, every woman's big match that they have, they got to do that stupid stacked up suplex out of the corner.
Yeah, that too.
Oh my God. I'm like, don't do it. Don't. And they didn't do it. I'm like, oh my
Would
God,
you think of Io putting a trash can on her head and then jumping off? That'd be scary. You don't even know where you're
totally scary. I don't know. Like, you don't get paid that much. Like,
yeah.
Come on.
Well, from what I heard, she did that in the NXT War Games before. I don't remember that.
Oh, see, I don't remember that.
So Gunther just was at the scrum for a couple minutes. I think it's just going to revolve around the CM Punk stuff. Here, let's get Joker's opinion. What do you think, Joker?
Hold on, I can't hear you. Hold on, give me a minute.
All right.
Just so you know, in the one thing I want to add about the women's match, the one thing I've never seen before is when they put Bailey in the middle and all. Who the hell was in the middle? Somebody was in the middle and they all went to a corner and they ran and drop kicked. Who was that?
I don't remember that part. I'm clouded by the end now. Right now, it's hard to even remember.
Yeah,
what
I know
happened in the
exactly. Exactly.
Kelly's
I forget who the hell was in the middle who got drop kicked.
Kelly, I did drop the link if you guys want to pop on and give us your thoughts, opinions.
Oh,
I mean,
there's Isa. Human Diva.
What'd you think of the Becky Charlotte hug thing?
I liked it.
It was kind of, I mean, I keep saying predictable, but to a lot of people, I'm sure it wasn't. But I missed.
Yeah.
I saw your little WrestleMania poster you put up, and it reminded me. And I went back and looked at old Survivor Series posters, Team Hogan and Team this and Team that. That was so great, dude. These teams tonight, none of them are really teams except for, Judgment Day is pretty much a team, but they got people that weren't part of Judgment Day. And then you got Bailey and her crew, which is probably the closest to a real team. But they're fighting teams that are like, can they coexist stuff? Like you had the dynamic between Priest and Drew. I mean, Priest and Drew. You had the dynamic between Cody and Seth when they had the bull rope. I like the bull rope. That's old Dusty right there.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. There's CJ on the way home from the
What up?
You said it on Friday. Meh if it happens, okay if it don't.
Yeah.
But right now, internet is imploding because of it. And
Triple H
of course they are.
Yeah, Triple H just addressed it in the scrum. He said it's a new era, it's a new company, people change. That's kind of how he answered the question.
And I was talking with my buddy. Yeah, I was talking with my buddy on our way back to his house for me to get my car. I mean, do I think that, like, you're going to see the same issues as you did with AEW? I don't, actually. I don't.
They'll probably keep him out of the locker room and, keep him away from that.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think backstage in AEW was probably the inmates running the asylum. They're a young company, so you're not going to get away with shit like that in WWE.
True, it's a lot more professional, I'm sure, back there.
You don't think he's going to get the CM Punk treatment where he gets his own locker room? I mean, the Brock Lesnar treatment.
I don't know. That's I don't know. I
don't.
No, and it's
really.
And this is coming from a guy who beat CM Punk. I like to remind everybody.
I mean, that and a quarter will get me a stick of gum.
Yeah, well, I know. I'm just. But like I was telling you guys, CJ and Doc were at the actual AEW taping. I was watching that while I was watching the show, and like I said, I thought it was kind of lackluster throughout. Nothing really to write home about. And normally, like I said earlier, when WWE advertises one big return, it's normally just that return. But tonight, I mean, we got R-Truth back tonight too.
Oh, I love that.
I'm pumped about that. When Orton came out, I mean, they delayed his entrance. He didn't come out when everybody else did. He was never in the shark cage. And it was a fake cash in because Seth got put through a table. Here comes Rhea. And then Rhea goes to cash in. And just before they ring the bell for the cash in, Orton's music hits. He looked phenomenal. He looked
That's
great.
what I heard.
He did an RKO from someone jumping off the top of the cage. It was pretty damn cool. So
Okay,
I'm not going to
good.
shortchange that. But all in all, I don't know.
I just hope his back can hold up, man. I just hope his back holds up.
So here's my question, and I'll start with CJ. If you were behind the scenes at WWE, you got Punk that came on, who would you put him in a program with first?
I'm
like, I don't really know. I can't think about it.
Is he babyface or heel?
I got one for you.
Go ahead.
You ready for this?
Yeah, hit me.
Austin Theory.
I wouldn't mind that. Not surprised Punk returned. Didn't believe it from the start. He was going to return tonight as expecting a return. Okay, Jay. It's next prediction for a return, Mercedes. No, I think she's coming to AEW.
AEW, yeah.
Pop for Gav says I pop for our truth. The Miz Gunther match had a couple good false finishes where it looked like Miz was going to get the title.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Wasn't bad.
Good,
Miz held his own, and he's trying to do this "I'm not a joke" type of persona. So, and he did a good job. But Gunther won. Rhea won, but there was a couple real good false finishes with Starks too.
Really
As there should have been.
And Dragon Lee was phenomenal because he always is, but
yeah,
you got to put over Escobar, like you said the other night. No matter who he's fighting, you got to put him over, and they did. So
good.
The middle matches were very predictable.
Yeah.
But this is going to be, no matter what happened, match 1, 2, 3, and 4. This right here and Orton will be the news.
Yeah.
Bailey, I think the Bailey thing. Bailey took the pin, so I think that's going to be a big thing with Damage Control. They're going to hate that she took the pin. And
That's what I said last night, wasn't
it?
You
did call that one. You did call that one. Perfect.
I probably called it spot on for all of it.
What about you, Sean? If you could have Punk face off with someone here in the near future, who would you want him to kind of face off with?
And the hamster's on the wheel, and I can't come up with one offhand. I can't.
Yeah, it's
so
fresh.
It's mind blowing. I'm still trying to soak it all in. I don't know where I'd fit him in the puzzle. I don't.
I got another good one too. Besides Austin Theory, Santos Escobar.
True.
That I would like.
No, that's what I want to see. Is CM Punk back to help put over some of the young talent too and stuff like that?
He should be. He should be.
Yeah, he doesn't have to do it all the time, but come in and let be like, I want to be the Intercontinental Champ, face Gunther and lose or something. Just give it a couple young guys a nice. What kind of rub would it be right now?
Yeah.
For him? Yeah, it's a huge rub for anybody.
And what I don't want to see is him on TV every week. He doesn't need to be.
Yeah. Well, like I said earlier, you say Punk for Raw, Raw's going to get a fucking huge rating just because of that. Whether you hate him or love him, people will tune in to see what he's going to say. I mean, if he might come out for a promo and sit down cross-legged on the ramp and start ranting, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back the way he left.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
It makes sense.
Punk versus Solo Sikoa. I don't know if Solo got that with he got that with Cena, I think. He beat the legendary Cena, so he wouldn't. But Cardona's having immense success on the Indies. Only reason for him to come back is Chelsea. No, I don't think he's coming back.
There's zero reason for him to come back.
He's doing phenomenal shit everywhere.
He's making more money on the Indies and doing what he's doing. He doesn't want to come back.
Oh, Becky and Bianca were in the middle when that happened, Sean. I just
thank you.
I couldn't remember it either. I mean, I'm normally Mr. Positive. It was kind of lackluster for the women's War Games for me. That's all.
I heard it was really good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
I wanted, like the Bailey thing is going to end up being why I would like it, but it didn't happen. Like if they would all beat up Bailey afterwards, then there's something to talk about.
True.
The big spots off the top. I mean, when you see 4 or 5 people gather in a bunch for like a minute, and then someone jumps off, they did it like 3 times.
Hear me out, though. Hear me out, Blades. You're more of an instant gratification type of guy. Agree or disagree?
I like long-term stories and booking, but when it comes to a big pay-per-view like this, I want some kind of payoff. So I want something to talk about. I want a talking point. Before the main event, there were none.
To me, the talking point is, okay, what happens next? How do we follow this up?
Like I said, after the main event, there is many talking points now.
Even with the Bailey, even with the Escobar,
there's lots.
Yeah, they furthered a lot of storylines. Don't get me wrong. It was a good show, but I was expecting more, I guess. Like you said, I wanted it tonight.
Well,
I don't want
who's
just like the other. I didn't want the devil
opponent?
reveal right away. I want to get teased for a while, but go ahead, Sean.
Who's Gunther's next opponent?
I don't know. I hope it's Gable. I hope it's Gable again.
I hope Gable. I want Gable to pin him.
I think he's the closest to beating Gunther over. Or if Dragunov gets called up, I'd love to see those two fight again. I think those matches were brutal, just like the Sheamus Gunther matches were.
Yeah, but to me, what's more believable? Dragunov beating Gunther for the title or Chad Gable?
Well, Ilya's beaten him before.
In NXT. But
Yeah.
I'm saying NXT, I mean, yes, it's under the WWE umbrella, but NXT and the main roster are two completely different animals.
Agreed. The hell for there's a lot of people feel the same way as you, Matt Storm. I mean, I can't say I wasn't surprised. I thought at the end of the show, and I was on a watch along with the Hardcore Sports Network. There were 6 of us there, and Earl Cole was hosting, and he said, "That's it. That's the way Survivor Series ends." And then the fucking music came on. So they did that very well because it looked like the show was over.
Yep, they did.
Kind of like how they brought Bray back.
Yep. Same idea. I mean, I don't know if they had the little thing in the corner where it really sells that the show's over, but yeah, we thought it was done. We were like, yeah, Randy's back. That was the big point. He looked great. They won. You know, there was tension between a lot of the people in the men's war games.
Okay.
And I like that. And there were some nice big spots in the men's war games.
Punk just came out, didn't say a thing, and left, correct?
That's it. Music come out and the crowd went nuts. Actually, I saw reports there were Punk chants earlier, but there was boos to it. Like there was huge when Randy.
There was not. I watched a video from someone that was physically there, like a clip of the Punk chants. There was no boos.
Yeah, someone probably did. But when Randy's music was about to hit, like when they were doing the fake cash in, the loudest chant of the night was the Randy chants. They were loud as hell, which deservedly so. I mean, 500 some days. I didn't even realize he's been gone for over a year.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction, like I said a little bit ago, and I apologize. Obviously, I'm not looking directly at, even though it's dark in my car, but I got to focus on the road.
No, I got you. Please do.
I think that we're gonna see the Punk that we're used to from back in the day.
I kind of got the same vibe.
And again, maybe I'm a little bit biased because I've worked with him and whatnot. I really think that some of the issues in AEW maybe were not entirely his fault.
I agree. And I think we're going to see that. I got the same feeling. Or else why would he be there? He had to have had.
But obviously, I say it time and time again. I watch wrestling a little bit differently than most people because I'm involved in it and I know a lot of the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, and people that don't know, he's been a wrestler, he's been a referee, he's a producer, he's helping several different companies right now in the area. And that's why I love the dynamic. We get different opinions, different ideas on how we watch it.
I have a question for both of you.
Yeah.
If you own the WWE, would you give him his own locker or would you let him in your locker room to hang out with the rest of the boys?
I would let him in the regular locker room to hang out with the rest of the boys to prove the point that maybe it was the inmates running the asylum at AEW. I would not give him special treatment. If you want to be back and you truly want to, revitalize your character as a person, not even as a wrestler, let's, the actions speak louder than words type of deal. Prove it. Prove it that you could get along with everybody and yada, yada.
I kind of agree. I kind of think that there had to have been a conversation. Hey, Punk, that shit's not going to fly over here. And he's probably like, I know. They made me. They caused me to be that way. And here, and how much coin did he get to come in and be a professional? I'm sure it's a lot of money for them to bring him back. And he's going to be a professional. I think I'm kind of get the same vibes. I don't think there's going to be that issue. There might be a couple people that are in the back that don't like him and don't want him there, but it's not their fucking decision. It's work.
It's not. And let's be honest, regardless of what happened in the AEW, CM Punk is good for the professional wrestling business.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, and this Vulture says he could see him winning a Rumble and challenge Seth for the title at Mania. And that's the one rumor that's been floating around is him and Seth in a program. So, I mean, I don't think we might see that right off but
I still think it's going to be Cody.
Cody winning a Rumble. Yeah. I want Gunther to win the Rumble and face him, but this, I don't know. Like we said, does he really need a championship? I want to see him and Stone Cold for Mania.
Yeah.
because that's one of those dream matches like Sting Undertaker that we never got. Now we have the opportunity because Stone Cold can still come in and do a little bit. We might be able to finally get that match.
Yeah. I mean, it's money making. Just start printing money if that ends up what happens. But
you know what else? If you're a young worker in WWE right now, aren't you just getting in line to fight this guy?
For sure.
I wouldn't even say needing to get in line to fight him. Getting in line to ask for like advice.
Definitely that too.
You know,
but if you're on the marquee with Punk and you're, say, one of these NXT guys that are about to, what if you're Braun Breaker versus Punk? You know, there's a lot of names that, you know, would love to have the rub against someone is a legend. He's been a champion everywhere he goes. I mean, very rarely am I going to hurry up and do a damn podcast because of somebody, but I knew that this is going to be a huge talking point.
Are you still going to be on for a little bit?
Yeah. Go do your
I just pulled in the garage. I'm going to hop off. I'm going to get on my computer. I'll hop back on.
Ooh, hop all over me, baby.
All right. I'll see you in a few. You're a loser, dude.
Hop it on, motherfucker. All right, let's get a take from Mr. Andy Price. Andy, your thoughts about the return of Andy Price of CM Punk?
Hey, Andy.
Hey guys. Well, there's the old saying, never say never.
It's exactly. I did. Yeah. I said never earlier. I didn't think it was going to happen.
Yeah, I said 10% chance. 10%.
Yep.
10%.
Well, he's not the devil. He's definitely not the devil in AEW.
Yeah, I didn't have him as that. I said I had a way out theory on that one and save that for another time. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. As I said, Raw Monday. As I said, I think everybody's going to
have him on Raw.
On that. Yeah, I think he's got to open. Even if it's
start the show with his music. Yep.
Yeah. It's either him comes out first or Seth or someone comes out and calls him out straight away. So get out of here, get over with. But yeah.
Matt Storm, if you shit when you hit the music, you better change your underwear, buddy.
Like you're saying, but play his music, let him come out with a microphone and do a little pipe bomb.
Sit him down on the ramp.
In the middle of the ring, sitting down cross-legged and just let him be out.
Yep.
So I have a devil take. Here's my devil take. And I threw it to CJ and he said it kind of doesn't make sense. But they could make sense of it. Tonight on AEW, the FTR had a great tag match with what the hell's their name? I'm so CM Punked right now.
Yeah, so am I. I'm like floating.
The Righteous and FTR had a great match tonight. After the Righteous and FTR fought, Malachi Black came out and the lights went out and the Righteous were gone. So if Malachi's the devil, you got 2 more members of his group and the Righteous for 4 members.
I thought it was Malachi in the first place.
I would love him to be the devil. And everyone's saying that Adam Cole, there's a theory out. When the devil came up on the screen, Adam Cole put his hand in his pocket. And then when he went off of the screen, Adam Cole took his hand, like he would have triggered a video or something. So I don't want it to be Adam Cole. I don't want it to be anybody people were saying.
I don't think it should be Cole either.
Malachi would be a great. And if you're talking about a devil and some evil people, the Righteous and the House of Black, I'm scared of them.
I'll be honest. When the attack on first happened with the deal on Jay White, part of me went, "Ooh, fantasy booking. I wonder if they could tie this into New Japan and make it that it's David Finley's Bullet Club attacking Jay White."
Hey, speaking of Bullet Club, if you saw whenever the Judgment Day came out, they had the Finn Balor Bullet Club masks on. The exact mask that he used to wear for the Bullet Club.
Very interesting because, I can tell you now.
I mean, it matches the Judgment Day outfit.
New Japan lately, but yeah. But
I'm looking for. What do you think about? I never got to ask you, Andy. Andy, what do you think about AEW having their own G1?
I like the idea. I said, and makes sense to do it over their shows and gives the matches importance. I like time limit's good because this year the G1 they changed it to 20 minutes instead of the usual 30 minutes, and it quicken things up. You couldn't start slow. You had to get into a quick start because if you started slow, you're playing catch up. On the greedy side, I'm kind of hoping Danielson doesn't get hurt because I'm like, please,
he's got a broken face.
God, Danielson was the kingdom. Yeah, so
his face is broken.
Yeah,
I know. It just sounds so funny. The guy has
like,
a broken face.
So Andy, if you, I mean, who would you book CM Punk to fight? Who would you want him to fight in AEW since he's back? Who would you like to see him go up against?
You said AEW by mistake.
I mean WWE.
Yeah. I kind of think you could say they teased Nakamura with the.
Oh, that's true. That's true. They have teased Nakamura.
Yeah.
That's the first program.
That would be
there you go. I like that.
Yeah. I
Peacock has a
Seth,
best in the world section up.
I keep away from Seth and Cody in that at least to the Rumble. I said, just keep away from that. And that also thing with Punk too. I said, I wouldn't overuse him in the ring. I'd make his matches feel important and special because
I agree. Just like CJ said earlier,
and he did it. And look at the matches he did at AEW. They were hard hitting, blood and guts and everything. And he struggled with injuries. He's a guy you need to carefully use him. Like physically, can we honestly say Punk's got maybe 1 or 2 years max? And you want to get the most of it?
He's no spring chicken, that's for sure.
Yeah,
2 years.
Yeah, make his matches. Yeah, make his matches special. Put him in matches with guys like, as I said, he's got the young guys. I'd maybe give him a full 6 months. Get all the main events kind of stuff you want to do with him done up to Mania, and then from there you can put him with the likes of Austin Theory. I hate saying this, Waller, guys like that. Here's a name, Punk and see it, and Kevin Owens or Sammy.
I like it. Thanks, Andy. I always love when you come on, bro. I appreciate you.
No worries. Thanks for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a couple. I got some other guys coming through. Hey, Andy, I hope to see you this Saturday. We got a talk show too.
Yep, I'll try to make sure. I mean, I might be half awake because damn time.
You're on the other side of the world. I know, my friend. Appreciate you, bro. CJ's back. There he is. Oh my goodness. Let me introduce you guys to the East Coast bastard, Mordred Nightwalker. What's up, fucker?
What the fuck's up?
So give me your first thoughts on him coming back, bro. Mordred, I've known you for a while, man. It's good to see you, bro.
Thank you. I like it. I honestly do, and it's something I kind of brought up with a couple people I've talked with there, because I don't do a podcast, but I always talk with people about stuff that want to talk.
Yes, sir.
I think his prior run in AEW, I think he was used to the structure that he had from all those years with WWE. And I think that was part of the problem with his run in AEW, was because it is so loosely based and people just kind of go off and do whatever, whenever. Mm-hmm. I think that really affected him negatively, and he didn't deal with it well, and he took it out on everybody else.
Great point. You're spot on. And now he's back in a more stable environment, organized environment. I think just like CJ said earlier, I don't think we're going to have those problems.
No.
People are going to say that they think they're going to have those problems. I was on that watch along. That's what 2 people already said. Oh, he's going to fuck up WWE locker room, and he's going to I'll give him 2 months and he'll cause problems. I think you and CJ, spot on.
He's going to be absolutely fine.
And I mean, you look at the last one, and I actually defended him on the last one to a lot of people because, he did handle it poorly.
Thing,
I'll give him credit. I will fully say he handled it poorly, but look at the root of that problem. He wanted people to be safe.
True. Waller and Punk.
If that's the issue, is that he wants people to be safe, I want him in my company if he's going to stand up for that.
Well, just like CJ said too earlier, I mean, they were interviewing some people from AEW after he left and saying, what'd you think about it? And like Jade said it, some of the women said it, that they learned so much from him in the back about the business, how to handle this, how to handle that. And they matured based on this guy. So he loves there's no question he loves the business. And I really, now that it's got the process, I think we're spot on. I mean, I think now the Nakamura thing should be his first program. If I think I forgot all about that.
I so hope so.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Have they ever fought? I don't even know if they've ever fought.
I want to say no.
Not that I know of.
Yeah. I don't know that I would make it his first program. I'd start a little bit of a build to make it like more important. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Again, instant gratification.
Yes, have him fight a couple other people.
Do the total opposite.
But there are, I mean, the last couple promos from Shinsuke is, I'm waiting. I've waited to fight for you. And it's all that. I mean, it's got to be him. But yeah, maybe a little program of someone else leading to the Shinsuke one.
Well, you could kind of, in a way, do both. You could set up, that the program's going to pay off at,
exactly.
Maybe not the next event, but the one after that, and have them wrestling people in between, but constantly bickering at each other.
Yes.
Do you put him in the Rumble? He's Rumble's next. Do you put him in the Rumble? Yes or no?
Yeah, I'd put him in the Rumble.
I think I'd rather see him in a singles match for that show.
But they've double booked multiple people. But yes, I would put him in the Rumble. I wouldn't have him win. But I would definitely put him in, have him go out like top 4. That sets him up beautifully for your upcoming PLEs right building to WrestleMania.
Like CJ said, he thinks Cody, which would make total sense because then he's booked for that WrestleMania match with Roman. And I would like Gunther, but he would be challenging the other title, obviously, because we're going to get Cody Roman. It should. And that should be the story. But this is the story right now. It's Punk. Punk's going to be the story.
Well, that's why I said put him in there, have him go to about the final 4.
Yeah, look, they fought in ROH. Joker, did you Google that?
Did they? Okay.
Did you Google that? Joker normally is spot on. He always corrects me when I fuck up. So thank you, Joker.
Yeah, I'd love to see him in the Royal Rumble too. Final 5.
You put him in the Rumble? Okay.
Yep.
And maybe who eliminates him, he ends up in a program with something weird like that. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like, that's why I like the Rumble, because he could start many stories, end some feuds, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a NXT pay-per-view next month in a couple weeks, actually.
Deadline.
Hey, we've seen them put other people. Why not send Punk into an NXT show?
That would be amazing.
Just throw him in one show. Why?
I'm all for that. I'm all for that, man.
Yeah, having him down on one episode, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, there's Trick and Carmelo Hayes versus CM Punk. I'm down.
Damn, that'd be an amazing match.
There's no offense to Punk. I don't think he can keep up with it.
Oh, true.
That's a good point. You got to think about that. That's a great point. This is not the CM Punk of 10 years ago.
But in the same regards, I think that will be such a great learning lesson for Carmelo Hayes to be able to adjust his style.
True. Man, it opens so many. I mean, I've been more of a critic of the WWE style because I like more of the variety, but it doesn't change everything. I'm still on the same page as we were Friday, CJ. If he came back, if he does, it's going to be news, but it didn't save the show for me, is my opinion.
The wrestling that I watched tonight was lackluster at best, and that's not a knock. You got to keep in mind, AEW is not even 5 years old. So for as far as they've come in the short amount of time, good on them. And people want to say, well, it's competition. I'm sorry, this may be an unpopular opinion. It's not competition.
Yeah.
It's
the guy in the business.
Is it better? Is it better for the wrestling business as a whole? 1,000%. Because now the guys and girls that are working both of these different companies are forced to elevate each other and become better. But it's not competition.
Triple H kind of summed it up in the Scrum question too. Triple H said a lot about protecting the wrestlers and their safety and the longevity. That's why you see a little bit of a different style, I think, in WWE. They protect the wrestlers a little more. Yeah. They're not going to do tons of stupid shit.
Me and my buddy were talking about Will Ospreay. The way he works, it doesn't show longevity. So he's going to have to adjust his style.
You're right on, bruv.
What the hell happened in NXT, though? How come all those women are getting injured? Nikita got injured. Sol Ruka got injured. Ariana Grace,
there was a lot
Morella's
of
daughter got injured.
Is it because they're still learning, you think?
I think that has part to do with it.
Partly, yeah, I would say. And also shit happens. I broke my heel in 4 pieces, and it's something that I've done literally hundreds of times. You land wrong one time and you're fucked.
Yeah. It is. I mean, we take it for granted as fans more than someone like you. Every time they step in a ring, they're risking career-ending injury or their life if they fall on their head the wrong way. Anything. I mean, so mad respect for in those. And I mean, going through the NXT process, they're still finding themselves to some extent.
And I think Nikita's injury, and I could be wrong, but I believe it's been to the same leg. So it could be she pushed herself to come back too early, re-injured it.
Yeah.
I think you're spot on with that, actually.
She was doing some great stuff, too, in my opinion. I really like to see a bigger girl. She's thicker to do some of the things that you don't expect she could do. And she had good charisma, in my opinion, too. But it sucked to see anything. I talk about this on the football and basketball podcast, too. Injuries happen. You can slip on ice, fall in your driveway and get hurt. You can get hurt anywhere.
Listen,
I don't like to use that as an excuse.
This is morbid, but I have to say it. I could walk to my car in the parking lot leaving work one day and get taken out.
Yeah.
You just never know. I mean,
that's why I don't like to use injuries as like an excuse for stuff. Because like you said, shit happens. But it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, going forward. And I don't know. Is it weird that I'm kind of more excited for Orton to be back than Punk?
No, it's not weird. It's not weird whatsoever, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of more excited. I'm still, even though I think you're right on the fact that there won't be the issues that you normally have with Punk and AEW now, it's still polarizing is the only word I can think of, because it's going to go one way or the other. Who knows?
I think people would be more happy with Orton being back, because as much as everyone says never say never, WWE has shown multiple times if it makes money, they're going to find a way to make it work. Case in point with Punk. You saw the same with Bret Hart in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Orton had a double spinal fusion. You're not supposed to come back.
No, and I would hope that for his own health, he adjusts how he works. And he's still, I didn't get to watch it yet. I'm going to watch it here shortly. I heard he looked phenomenal, but
he looked really good.
There's probably a reason why they did it how they did to protect him.
He hit his patented power slam, which is one of my favorite power slams anyone does. He hit a couple RKOs, and then when McDonough came off the top of the cage, he caught him for an RKO, which was very impressive.
But he probably didn't take the big-ass back bump on it like he normally does.
I didn't see – not too many got anything on Orton, if my memory serves me right, which is good. They should protect him right off the bat.
I mean, there was a little bit of a mugging, but it was all towards his front.
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind.
I didn't mind him a lot.
Cody Rhodes pulling out a bull rope with a cowbell on it. I kind of like that moment, even though it's like, where'd that cowbell and bull rope come from? I mean, that's Dusty Rhodes. That's old school. He brought it out.
Yeah.
And him and Seth were holding it, and Seth wanted to fight, and he was like, one match. We're supposed to put all that aside for this match. And they used the bull rope to clothesline people. And I like that spot.
Yeah, it was a good moment.
It was a little bit different. So to me, coming up to, and every time I went into that podcast, because they were ahead of me, so I wasn't on the podcast for the match, but after it was over, I popped in, and every match I was like, Rhea won, surprise, surprise. Santos won, surprise. I mean, there was no surprises throughout the whole show, but the main event did make the show a lot better. But for me, it didn't save the show.
But
I would kind of put this in the middle of their pay-per-views they've done this year.
Yeah, me too, middle.
There were a couple of matches I would have liked to have seen gone different. I would have liked to have, honestly, people might crucify me for saying it, but I'm always, one to create a little controversy.
Yes, you are.
You haven't met me yet.
Yes, you two would get along way too fine. This is scary that you guys are on the same show. I've known CJ for a long time, and I've known Mord for about 5 years. Yes, this is freaky with you two together.
I wanted to see both Miz win, and I wanted to see Zoe win.
As did I.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
I
like
think
those,
I said
one of
both
those would have been a huge.
Last night.
That would have been a huge talking point if one of those won. But
Yeah,
it was super predictable, in my opinion.
Zoe's not ready yet. She
No.
will be. She's not ready yet, but I would have been more than okay with Miz.
Yeah, they did the tribute to Randy Orton. All 5 of them did the mid-rope DDT at the same time. You got that spot. You got the triple power bomb with 3 guys. They all grabbed 3 guys, and 3 guys got bombed by 2 guys, which is decent. So they did some different stuff in the men's. that's why I kind of like the men's better than the women's war games. I mean, some people might love the women's war games. There was 2 people on the panel I was on that thought it was really good because of the dynamic of the Bailey thing that's going to end up paying off down the line with that group.
I think the women's was good for where they're going.
Yes.
And that's,
If it was by itself, I would not have thought it was a good match.
Yeah, if it was the main event and they did the men's first for some reason, but now at the end of the show, why they had the.
I mean, Blaze, you know me. I'm always looking at the bigger picture.
Yes, and that's why I love the dynamic of the people I have in this community and in the podcast, because even though we agree on a lot of things, when we disagree, it's a good debate and discussion, and I normally learn from it, as well as we don't always have to agree, and that's I think the bottom line. It's a WrestleSense.
Except everybody has to love Fuji. Then I gotta
fuck Fuji.
Fuck Fuji.
See, Doc's not here to defend you, Sean.
No, I mean, like, I loved the EO spot. Even though it was the same one that was done last year, I still love it every year.
The trash can.
Did she do the moonsault off the top?
No, she did the trash can over
suicide.
her head.
Oh, okay.
And then dove off. And I forgot she did that in Charlotte did a moonsault off the top of the cage.
Peanut, come on.
But Charlotte
said,
Charlotte actually kicked someone pretty bad on it.
The other thing I really liked was Charlotte and Becky actually getting together, because they were actually on the press conference. That wasn't a rehearsed moment.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on the Scrum. Shout out to new people in the chat. Will Gardner, Peanut. If you guys are new, subscribe. We value everybody's opinion. CJ will shoot a lot of people down and tell you you're wrong, but we still value your opinion. That's what's the beautiful thing about pro wrestling. It always has been for me, is people's different opinions, and everyone looks at it differently. Like CJ looks at shows differently than we do, and Sean looks at shows differently than I do. Mordrin does, and that's the beauty of pro wrestling. We always say enjoy it, have fun with it. I don't like to be the sick person that said they should have booked this, they should have booked that. I like to wait for the outcome and then respond whether I like it or not, and it's fun.
And I don't even do that. I'll say if it were me, I would have booked it probably differently. But.
Yeah, and I do that all the time.
That's a problem with a lot of podcasts I watch, is they come on and say, if you don't agree with me, then you're not a wrestling fan, or I'm speaking truth.
All these idiots. Okay, you've been a fan for over 35 years. That's amazing.
Appreciate you,
Kudos to you. I've been involved in the business for over 25 years.
And that in itself is awesome.
And still in it. And we've got a couple guys that are just starting in the business, Riley Wolf, Gauzy, and a couple others that are just starting as wrestlers in our little community. And we've talked to CJ about it too, and he's had great advice.
It's a lot different now than it was 25 years ago. I'm not saying at every training facility, but I feel like from how I was trained 25 plus years ago to how it is now, guys and girls get away with way too much. I got the fucking shit kicked out of me, and I think it's for the better.
Yeah. There you go. Definitely. And
Nice.
Kelly has a question. Do you guys think that it took away? No, I don't think it took away from the ending.
No.
Because they did the fake cash in, and they did the Orton return, which are big talking points to me.
Yeah.
Peanut, Drew walked out to let the moment simmer for Punk. Come on.
Yep. There's gonna be a lot of rumors. There's gonna be a lot of bullshit that flies around because of this in the community.
And no offense to anybody in this chat or any sort of wrestling fans, but I truly am sick to my stomach with 99% of the internet wrestling community. I don't care if that makes me a heel or whatever. Fine. So fucking be it. But I promise you, I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Oh my God. I can't. I'm going to bring this guy on, but I don't know how long it's going to last. I want his take. Cody Hagan, everybody. What do you think on Punk coming back, my man?
And Blaze, you're right. I do like this guy.
Ring the bell. He's done.
Hurry up, Cody. Get to the fucking point. Just give me your thoughts quickly.
He tapped.
I'm not tapping now. My jaw dropped on the fucking floor because the last time I've watched Punk in WWE was the Royal Rumble, and that was like a long time ago. To see him come back for the first time and with the reinvented Cult of Personality theme, It just made Chicago lose their fucking minds.
Straight Edge Society was my favorite.
You can only have you can only have so much of Cody Hagan. Just like, get out of here. Love you, bro. And that's a good point. There was the rumors started right away when they said the remastered Living Color remastered the song, and people are like,
fans do that all the time.
Yeah,
and
they
what?
do that.
It got people talking more about Punk. It did exactly what it was meant to fucking do.
Yeah.
Come on, be smarter.
Hey,
Be
Cody,
smarter.
who do you think Punk
Yes?
fights first? Who does Punk fight first?
You know what? This what I've been seeing on Twitter of Rollins getting pissed.
Not Twitter, Cody.
yeah,
what do you think? Come on.
What do you
Think
think?
for yourself,
Rollins.
Hey,
Rollins, because
Thank you.
I
Rollins is his answer.
I hope he's wrong.
I hope he's wrong too.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what he wants to see. I mean, eventually, a lot of people thought that's going to be the Mania match. It could still be.
It could definitely be. I could definitely see that being a Mania match because I did see the footage he's alluding to, and yeah, he
Who
did.
did he say? I blanked out. It was Cody.
He said Seth.
Seth, yeah, apparently was not very happy. He was yelling, screaming stuff, being held back.
Now, this is what I
when it
talked
went
about
off the
earlier.
air.
Are you ready for me to say my catchphrase?
It's a work.
Wrestling is a fucking work.
If
Seth
it's on
has been
TV,
outspoken on being one of the people that was okay with him coming back.
I mean,
if it's,
I hope it
in
is.
my opinion, if it's on TV, it was planned. That's how I look at it.
Well, this
Because
wasn't
it's a
on TV.
production.
That's the thing.
Oh.
That's the thing. It wasn't
Actually,
on TV. Somebody got it with their cell phone.
We had 3 returns because don't forget R-Truth is back, baby.
Hey, I loved that. I love it.
I love R-Truth. I am R-Truth guy.
Here's another opinion which people may not agree with, but this is what I was talking about. People are going to think it's a mistake. People are going to think it's locker room drama because of what happened in the past. You do not know until we see it. But thank you, Maple Slays. I appreciate the opinion.
You're definitely entitled to your opinion.
That's a very popular opinion right now.
I am living fucking proof that people change.
And that's exactly what Triple H said. And he actually answered the Jade Cargill thing too. He says he's never lost any faith in her, and the time will come. So he did address that. They asked him about Jade Cargill in the scrum.
Yep.
And what did I say?
He's taking it slow.
What did I say months ago? Don't have her wrestle a match. God, hold her off until fucking
Royal Rumble.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, even till not even. I mean, she doesn't. You can't throw. I mean, she's got the look. We all know that she looks phenomenal. But if they can get her working better, and I think she's going to be more accustomed to the WWE style than what she might have been taught or not taught.
She's not been working a match yet.
Yeah,
and he kind of because I did watch the whole. That's why I was so late getting here. I watched the whole press conference.
I'm with you.
He did allude to that. He said that that her, she wasn't given as many opportunities to learn as many styles, and that is what they're doing right now.
Yeah,
is that they are giving her working reps with every style out there, so no matter who she's up against, she can knock it out of the park right away.
It's the right spot for her, in my opinion.
This isn't a knock, but AEW style is more of indie wrestling, and WWE is just the ultimate universe for wrestling.
I'm glad they're different. I am.
Oh, so am I, and I'm
so glad they're different. I don't want the same thing all over the place, and we don't have that. We have different styles in all these different companies, and I think that's the beauty of it. See?
Oh, definitely.
The video is out there.
I'm not even going to answer that.
It could be. It could not be.
That's
the beauty of wrestling.
Here's
we gotta
my
wait
answer.
to find out.
Who cares?
Yeah, that's true too.
Who cares?
He flipped him off. Yeah.
Okay, cool, great. I'll flip all of you off.
Hey, I got one for you.
Yeah.
I know you do. I know.
Just fucking enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, it's got us talking. It's added a whole new dynamic to the wrestling world right now. Most people didn't expect it, but a lot of people were talking like crazy about it. So
am I shocked? No, not at all. Personally, I would have not brought him back tonight. I would have held off till maybe like the Rumble, but they're in Chicago. So
yeah, I knew if they didn't do it, if he was coming back, and I actually said this to Mrs. Utaker, who was in the chat. I said it to her. If it doesn't happen tonight, if there is a deal in place, it'll happen tomorrow because they're in Chicago.
And it's not crazy to believe there wasn't a deal till earlier today.
No, not at all. And that was actually touched on in the press conference too. Apparently, they had their first conversation a couple of weeks ago, and it came together that fast.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, Kelly.
I mean, I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
I mean, if it's good for profession, like CJ said right in the beginning, whether you like him or not, it's good for the business. It's good for wrestling as a whole.
It's good for everybody. It's good.
And
for
I
the
really
younger
think you're
talent.
right. He's going to prove that he's here for the business. He's here, and it's not going to. And it is a big slap in the face to AEW if he comes back and he never has an issue with the locker room or nothing. To say it really was the kids that he had to work with.
And
I love AEW.
I don't think it's even really necessarily a slap in the face. I don't think it's just proving that how different the two products really are, and the difference in professional and difference in a company that's just treading ground and not anywhere near where they're eventually going to be 5 years from now.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have him on a very short leash.
Oh, without a doubt.
Now
I disagree. I don't think you have him on a short lease.
You know what I do? I do some fake locker room drama with him. Make shit up. Make it all story where he's a punk. He's back there fucking with people and he flips people off and he can't stand the locker room. He comes out and says, you know what? I don't care about the people in the back, but I think he's going to be face at first.
Oh, that's why, because even in other cities, he'd been face just because people have clamored to see him back.
Yeah,
eventually he can do heel.
Being if you were going to push him that way, whether they wanted to or not, the fans were going to. Why not capitalize and make it Chicago? That's why I said either tonight or tomorrow.
If you're Seth and you know eventually you might fight this guy, of course you do something crazy like off the cuff afterwards to get people talking.
Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm about to blow all of your fucking minds. You ready for this?
I'm bracing myself.
You're going to say blow me. I was
CM Punk is neither a face nor a heel. Let CM Punk be fucking CM Punk.
I agree with that assessment, but I think the people are going to make him more the face rather than the company.
They're happy he's back.
Yeah.
All right.
But then
there's still going to be places that he'll probably get booed at too, and that's okay.
Have him do some shit that will piss people off, and people say, "Ooh, that's CM Punk. Here he goes again." But it'll all be part of the story, and I love that.
Yeah, and that'll be awesome.
I don't think he's doing this to spite AEW. I think he's doing it because he loves professional wrestling, and he's missed it, and he's a fucking worker.
But I see how a lot of people will draw that conclusion, just like they did with Cody.
Yeah.
And now, listen, and as much as I love AEW, you got Cody, you got Jade, you got Punk. Who's next?
MJF.
That's the big question.
No, MJF already re-signed with it.
Yeah, he signed. I'm pretty sure
he
did?
God.
It's going to be a great angle at World's End, though, because if he wins or loses, he's teasing that he's gone.
You know who I want? You know who I want next? And, of course, it's going to be a biased opinion, but I don't think it'll be an unpopular one. Wardlow.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him. I would love to see him come over.
I think he would fit better over there, too, as much as, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. That's what's so great about this. Look at all the possibilities. Love him or hate him, this is great for the business.
And no matter what, I'll do a little at the end of the day, and then I'm hopping off because I'm going to watch the show. But at the end of the day, you know who wins?
Everyone.
The fans.
The fans, definitely.
And I'm out. Love you guys. I'm going to go watch Survivor Series.
Take care.
Thank you. Have a good night. CJ. Now, this is a guy who just watched 5.5 hours of AEW in Pittsburgh. But I appreciate that. And thank you more than Sean for coming on. I mean, this is, I wanted opinion. This was off the cuff. As soon as I saw the show ending, I was like, you know what? Some people might not have watched it, but it's going to be hard not to find out this news.
And that was the other big thing that this did. Again, whether they use them sparingly, whether they use them full time, irregardless of that, I will guarantee news sources outside of WWE are picking up this story right now.
Oh yeah, this will be huge.
Yeah. Actually, listen to this. And this is, I thought was stupid. The other day, ESPN did an article on him. which isn't a wrestling source. There was an ESPN report about the possibility of Chicago and CM Punk, and I'm like, really? But Triple H said, hey, in the scrum, he literally said, not a lot of people knew about this.
Yeah.
And the question was this a TKO decision? Was this a Triple H decision? Was it this? He kind of took the blame on himself. He goes, he says, I'm pretty sure some people at TKO were like, holy shit.
Yeah, he said it's basically him and Tony. Yeah.
That's how it should be. I want surprises. Yeah. And I really think that Tony Khan and Triple H are not dumb. They know how the internet works and everything, and they want to surprise people with stuff. They're not stupid. They know that throwing guard. That's why Tony Khan does all this big announcement shit, because it gets people talking. Whether it's a dumb announcement or a good, it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
You're talking about it. And you know what this is going to do? I hope is to get AEW to step their fucking game up.
They have to.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And as to the who's next, I would honestly see it as some of the women that left coming back. Because you look at the state of AEW's women division.
True. Because
you think Paige or Tony Storm?
Not Tony Storm.
I don't see Tony Storm, no, but I
don't think Paige either because of the neck thing. Like
Ruby Soho, I see coming back.
That makes sense.
I wouldn't mind if once she gets healthy and comes back, Jamie Hayter.
Yeah, I could see her going. I could see more of the women's division moving, just because I'm sure they watch both products like everybody does.
Plus, regardless if you love one or the other, you're getting shit tons more exposure in WWE.
Exactly.
And I love
that's where I was going, is that what they do with the women's division, they're seeing that.
No one does a spectacle
that could be me.
No one does a spectacle like WWE. No one's going to get you worldwide known in WWE. And I mean, I knock it because it's not totally my style. I like the unpredictability and the little bit of blood, little bit of this, little bit of mat wrestling, a little bit of everything that I get.
Yeah.
I look more for the match quality than I do the fluff and the spectacle that WWE gives. That's just me. But I love them both because they're different. It's true. We're going to have to see what Tony... I'm sure... I mean, I would love to be a fly on the wall wherever Tony Khan is right now.
Oh, Lord.
Because the way Triple H said, not a lot of people... It looked fucking legit that a lot of people didn't know about this. And I'll give him a lot of credit for pulling this off.
Yeah, I was, let's say, kind of glancing at some reports, and apparently they cleared out an area that had a direct shot to the stage, and that's where he came in from. So even when he was coming up, no one saw him come up.
They did it. They did it well.
They pulled it off, and nobody spotted him anywhere. All that shit.
Yeah.
Although I saw one picture
at an airport.
One picture with a real skinny guy that looked like CM Punk, and it said CM Dunk is
I
spotted.
Seen that guy.
Yeah. I thought, I was like,
store version.
I said this on the podcast that I was on the watch along. I said, you know what? If they're not going to get CM Punk, they might as well pull a Gilbert and have like a fake CM Punk come out and troll everybody.
That's what I thought was going to happen when they played his music. I thought, it's not going to be CM Punk. It's going to be some dork.
Hey, I mean, the Stone Cold thing, I really would love to see if they can make that happen for Mania, because we missed out on Sting Undertaker, and I always wanted to see that.
Yeah.
Punk and Stone Cold, if they can come up with an agreement to fight at the end of the at Mania, I'd love it.
That would be an awesome.
Hey, Jason from That Wrestling. I knew when I saw they were selling Pepsi products in Chicago this week, something was.
That's a good one. I like that.
If someone farted on the internet, they thought CM Punk was back this week. I mean, it was all over the internet. It's going to be all over this weekend. It's only great for the business, in my opinion, like we talked about. It really is.
No, definitely.
Thanks for popping in, Jason. That's good. If that's Jason, it could be anyone from that wrestling podcast. But it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy how, in my opinion, I went through a roller coaster tonight because I was really like, blah for the show. That was me.
Yeah, like I said, to me, I'd rank it kind of mid in their PLEs they've done this year, kind of the middle level, which is bad because it's one of your big four, so you should be ranked higher. So I think they dropped the ball in that regard.
And it was like halfway through, like I said on the podcast on Friday, the 3 singles matches were super predictable.
Yeah.
Pretty much knew who were going to win.
Yeah.
The women's War Games match had some story with the Bailey thing, but I thought it fell a little short. It's not my War Games.
Yeah, if I would have been writing that match, I probably would have pissed off the entire world. But that's me. Yeah, I know. I'm used to that. Literally, I would have had it go the way it started, with Bailey starting off for her team. And when the cage opened, all three of them walk out the ramp and leave.
It would kind of ruin the whole match, but that would definitely get that story going. Sean, you said earlier you kind of liked the women's War Games. Sean, what did you like about it?
Specifically, there isn't nothing specific, but
the Charlotte Becky
there's just a
storyline?
lot of intertwining of stories, I think, that had me interesting. Like, how's that gonna go? How's that gonna go? And the whole Becky and Charlotte thing, and
I like Kairi Sane. I think she looked phenomenal.
I'm
a big fan of her.
Like I said, that drop kick out of the four corners, I never seen that happen before. That was new for me.
Yeah, I mean,
that was a new
I
spot.
did shit on it a little bit more because I want more. I want more out of a PLE. That's just me.
Yes, I would give the whole thing like a 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, like what are we going to talk about at the lunch table on Tuesday? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, I'd have rated it like a 5.5 to a 6.
Yeah. See? Like I won't boost my score up more just because Punk came back. I mean, like I said, it's great for the industry, but plus before Punk came out, were they really expecting us to be surprised that Orton came out when they advertised him all fucking week? I mean, it was not a surprise that Orton was going to be there. His wife was at ringside. That was all over the internet. So it's like, all right, but what are they going to do different to make it the fake cash in? I like that. That wasn't expected. I wanted that afterwards. And I wanted Priest, if there was no Punk, I wanted Priest to walk out with the world championship tonight.
I've reached the point with the cash in, and I hate to say it because it used to be such an exciting moment, but they've killed it so much during this run with Priest that I don't think it's going to happen. They walk out, it's like, oh, okay, who's going to screw it up?
Fair.
It's exactly where my mind goes, is who's screwing it up this week.
And we're coming off of a cash in last year that a lot of people thought was the worst cash in ever.
Yeah, and they're
who cashes in for the US title.
Yeah, that was different.
That could have been the pencil stash guy's decision. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be the golden egg part 2. The crazy RKO spot was good. I really liked that. When he came off, I mean, because timing. I mean, you missed that by 1 second. It looks like shit.
Yeah, no,
Randy Orton still got it, bro. And I love having him back. Does it take, what do you guys think? Does it take away from Orton's return that Punk came back?
I say no.
I'd say maybe a tiny bit overall, no, but I think maybe a tiny bit.
Yeah. I don't think it does, just because of the fact that they literally advertised him a week in advance and had built it all up for the week.
There were also some people saying that they should have kept that a secret. And I said, no, you got to announce that. So they didn't expect Punk.
Yeah,
because
now
if you keep a surprise person, they're going to think it's Punk. People
Zoe Stark surprised me. I'll say that much. Zoe Stark really surprised me.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for her.
She held her own. She held her own.
Definitely. And she's a beast.
Yeah. Listen, I was pulling for her to win it. I've been a big fan of Zoe Stark's from her beginning in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
It's when I really first got eyes on her.
Shawn Michaels loves her.
Yeah. So I was hoping that would have been one of those surprise moments that they lacked in this show. Mm-hmm. If she would have hit that Z360 and this time won the belt. Because if you go, like they showed it in the pre-show, Crown Jewel, she almost won it off that, but there was an extra people involved who broke it up.
Yeah, Jason, we were
this
talking
time
about
it hits.
Some people have seen it off camera. CJ was like, it's a work. Why not? And so that's what's going to get people talking if you're CM Punk. I mean, if you're Rollins, have a reaction like that. Show that you're not happy he's there. Why not?
Gunther Miz match was pretty solid to me as well.
That was a very solid match, and I was actually hoping for Miz to win. Like I said,
same here. I
think Miz. That would have helped solidify him more.
Jason. That's it. That's the bottom line. Just like CJ said earlier, who cares if it's a work or a shoot? Who cares? It is awesome that that was the like I said, there was a lot of talk. If Punk comes back, who's he going to fight at Mania? And everyone's like, Rollins. Punk would be great. I want the Stone Cold match, but Rollins Punk. Why not tease it a little bit now with him saying, "Fuck, why does this motherfucker here?"
Yeah.
The other night on a house show, it was Cody and Seth in the ring, and in Chicago, Punk chant started, and Seth was like, it was funny as shit.
Yeah.
Because he's going to play right along. They're professionals at what they do, guys. I mean,
oh yeah,
they're going to, and the way CJ put it, that he thinks that you're not going to have the same problems with Punk in WWE. I'm kind of feeling the same way now.
Yeah,
I'm hoping he's right.
Yeah,
I want
I don't, you know. And if he comes back and he can prove he's here for the business to improve the product, no matter what way he can, more power to him.
You know, and that's like I said when I came on, you know, if I have a guy who's creating a problem, but his issue is the fact that people are putting themselves in harm's way, I'm kind of okay with that part. I want my locker room to stand up and say, no, this isn't safe.
Yeah, and do you think that Punk's going to do some of the crazy shit he did in AEW? Probably not.
No,
he did do some things you might not normally see. All right, we got a special guest here from That Wrestling Podcast. What's up, Jason? No Doc here, and I still got you here, bro. How you doing?
Who needs to sleep? Seriously, it's only.
I'm wired.
You know,
what's your take after watching the very end? What's your first instinct on the return of Punk?
Little quick backstory. So earlier this week, I said to my guys, I said, "Hey, do we want to do a Survivor Series post show?" And like Brian was like, "No, I'm gonna be out." Kevin's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be with my neighbors." So it was just me and Joe. And if you know me and Joe's backstory, we really don't like each other.
Yeah.
So earlier today, I said in our group text, I said, "Well, look, I don't like Joe. Joe doesn't like me. Only way we're going to do a podcast is if Pepsi Phil shows up." Literally, I was in bed watching, and I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But now that, you know, we actually did record a quick little 20-minute podcast, videos up on our YouTube channel at That Wrestling Podcast.
Yes, check it out.
Or audio, Spotify and or Apple Podcasts. But what's crazy is I was like, boo CM Punk the whole AEW run. And I think it was because, for me, I need the surprise. This was a surprise. This is what AEW should have done.
Yeah.
On the flip side, I think that this CM Punk, he's not working the biggest super indie in the world anymore. He's in the major leagues, and I don't think they're going to let him be what he was in AEW.
Exactly what CJ said earlier. I agree. Do you want to hear the real big news for tonight, though? Not only is R-Truth the real big return for tonight, but there was a post earlier tonight. If CM Punk, from a retired WWE wrestler, if CM Punk returns, I will never wrestle again. Ryback.
I was going to mention that. If Punk
returns, he'll never fight again. I don't know if anyone's really sad about that, but
I saw that on TikTok, something you don't watch.
One other thing, too, that I thought was interesting and kind of timing was a little off today. So, Blaze, you know, me and Doc went to All Out in 22.
Yes.
That DVD has never been released for sale on Pro Wrestling Tees until today.
Wow.
I was just like, that's interesting. And then obviously tonight, and of course that comment I made about the Pepsi products, like that shit really spun me in a weird, different direction this week. I'm like, they're selling Pepsi products in Chicago. This is going to happen. He's going to be there because they're selling Pepsi products. It's crazy.
A lot of people knocked the remastering of the song too, like it was nothing, but hey, it ended up being something.
That I didn't think was anything really.
Me either.
Yeah, I didn't think that either because the artists are doing that all the time now.
Yeah, Ryback wasn't fighting, but now he will never fight again, or else. Well, it is wrestling, so never say never. He can still do it and say fuck. No one's asking him to come back anyway. I mean, the Ryback
giveaway
match
for all the fans.
Won.
The biggest giveaway for all the fans today should have been when they got the free ice cream bars when they walked in.
Yeah. I mean, Jason, what'd you think about Orton's return?
Man, he looked jacked.
Really good.
Like he looked really big.
So good.
Obviously we knew he was going to be there. Part of me thinks would have been interesting if Orton didn't show up, but Punk did. That would have been cool. But no, I mean, look, it's great to have Randy back. I couldn't believe it's been 18 months.
Me too.
The fact that it's been a year and a half, and I don't know what's next. I think that WWE, I'm imagining, can be a little petty, which is why I thought Miz was going to win earlier, to tie Jericho and then lose it and then win it to, they erased Punk's title history. They erased AJ Lee's title reign.
Honky Tonk Man.
Honky Tonk, Demolition, like all these people. I thought maybe that's why Miz was going to win. Obviously Gunther did not lose at the press conference. He gave Miz a little bit of respect, which is cool.
Yeah, I like seeing that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember the original question, Blaze, but man,
the Orton return. You answered it.
Yeah,
so, who ends up beating Gunther though?
Oh, I know what I was getting at.
Go ahead.
So I think, now that Cena's kind of gone, I would not be surprised if Randy beats Ric Flair's record of titles.
Oh, I'm one of the guys who says Ric Flair doesn't have 16, he has like 20 because they don't count a couple of those ones.
Yeah,
losses.
Yeah, and then the win and loss in Japan and all that weird stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
But for the purpose of what they say,
yeah,
I would be surprised if Randy breaks that record, just because Flair signed on to pimp his god awful energy drink.
It was all over. I don't know if you saw any of the Pittsburgh show tonight, but they had the Woo energy all over the big screen during the match.
It was like that on Dynamite too. It's vinegar based. Who the fuck wants to drink that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
no, I didn't know that either. Holy
Doc,
shit!
Yeah, Doc was at Collision tonight.
Yeah, he said CJ and Doc are both there. Doc got he got upgraded on his seats. They were right near the floor. He sent me some pictures.
Yeah, the boys, Bodie and his cousin, they met Dax and they met Tony Khan. Those are the only two pictures Doc sent me. But yeah, I haven't watched yet. Don't give me any spoilers.
No. It was $20. I could have got They were sending me buy one get one free tickets. $20 for 2 tickets in Pittsburgh for tonight. So they have attendance issues, as everyone knows.
Well, I guess we can't convince him CM Punk return there.
No, he's definitely not the devil. We said that earlier. He's definitely not the devil now. But man, what if he is now? That would be the biggest swerve in wrestling history.
Kevin on my show says, "What if this was just a one-off? Because it's in Chicago. Like, if that would be the best troll job."
I was going to say troll the fans like crazy.
But the fact that they put out the shirt online now for sale, I imagine that.
Well, that and I watched the press conference afterwards, and it was they didn't say specific numbers because they normally never do, but it was alluded that this was a going forward deal.
All right,
yeah, that's going to be the big question. How long did he sign for?
Yeah,
and we talked about who's the first program he might be. Jason, who would you put him in the ring with first? Is it Shinsuke because he's been teasing it, or someone else?
I think that could be an obvious choice. I think Cody would be the obvious choice. Orton would be the obvious. Again, there's so many obvious choices, but I feel like it's going to be somebody different. Like,
I'd like to be surprised.
LA Knight.
Yeah, we talked about earlier. What if he shows up on NXT one week?
Yeah,
they've been doing that with the big guys too. So you never know. I mean, we'll truly see if he's here for the business with this run. Is what I think, and I'm all for it.
Well, my concern is that on Monday, because I imagine he's going to open the show.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know how they don't.
Yeah,
I don't need the subtle snide remarks about working with kids.
Yeah,
I hope not.
Just let it go. Don't even bring up AEW. There's no reason.
We might get I was somewhere else for a while, but I'm finally home. Maybe something like that without digging. I don't know.
Yeah, that I'd be okay with.
Well,
I want him to sit Indian style on the ramp. I want him to come out, sit Indian style on the ramp, and pick up where he left off.
Yep, so do I.
So Blaze, I don't know if you've caught our shows over the last couple months.
Week.
we've had a guy run in.
It's Coney here. Coney Ton?
My name is Coney Ton, and I'm the world's biggest AEW super fan.
Coney, what do you think about Punk leaving and he's over there now?
Well, like I said to Jason and those other dopes, AEW had this guy for the first 2 years of his career, and it was okay. Lots of money was involved, but there was lots of drama. So WWE, they can have our sloppy seconds and do whatever with this guy. Bill, whatever the hell. My name is Coney Ton. I gotta go. Bye.
I figured you gotta go. He's always busy.
That guy is so quick in and out, man. So fast. But
I don't know how you get that type of star power to hang out and come in every once in a while, but I appreciate it.
And what's crazy, he has said that he gets requests all the time to go on podcasts, and he doesn't go on any other podcasts, but that was weird that he just did that one. So
he follows you everywhere. It's kind of strange, but
yeah, it's like one of those things. Like, have you ever seen Paul Pfeiffer from the Wonder Years and Marilyn Manson together?
Yeah. Some people in my community know a guy named Radio Rex that sometimes follows me around. He's an annoying little son of a bitch. His voice is kind of like that too, to be honest.
Pretty close.
That guy's fucking awesome, right? Hell yeah. I'm Coney Ton. I gotta go. Bye.
I think, and what Gav said, I think I like the fact that Miz has come out. The promo with him and Gunther was great. And I think he's trying to, he doesn't want to be a joke anymore. He doesn't want to be a punchline. He wants to take a little more seriously. And there was a couple good false finishes in that match, but you knew Gunther was going to win.
Very close. Very close calls a couple times.
There was a couple of reasons I wanted Miz to win. Like you mentioned, the promos. What better way for them to push him being taken, seriously than for him to do what everyone says can't be done. But two, the other reason I wanted to see Gunther freed up to work with other situations
I
than
wanted
just
to go
the
for the
Intercontinental
heavyweight
title.
So do I. Heavyweight
I mean, how
title.
many other double Grand Slam champions are out there? Love or hate Miz, he's been super successful. And he came off of a fucking reality show. I mean, this guy, he's the epitome of what sports entertainment should be, whether you like him or not. If you look at his career, and I'm not a huge fan of Miz, I'll be honest.
I've always been a fan of the Miz.
But at this point, he was on a reality show, but I don't see him as the reality show guy. He's been there 20 years.
He's dispelled
that's low-hanging fruit. That is what that's low-hanging fruit. And I'm not a fan of that shit. Like tonight on commentary, not that this is low-hanging fruit, but it's kind of in that vein. Michael Cole made a comment. They said how 3 years ago, Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes had a Hell in a Cell match here in Chicago in this arena. And he also planned another big event here. Like, really? There's no reason to put that in there unless he's going to say All In.
Yeah.
Like, that shit drives me nuts. And I think that is my broadcasting career. Less is more. Don't say like subtle, vague posting. I hate that. So to me, that drove me nuts. And I know I'm talking a lot. And go ahead, guys.
No, I don't think the subtle jabs are ever going to stop, unfortunately, between the two. And we said it earlier. No, and you said it, and CJ said it. WWE is the top of the mountain. It always will be. And AEW is different. I like that it's different. Neither of them are perfect. WWE is where all the money is. You're not going to be more worldly wide known anywhere else but WWE. That's just a fact.
I'll go ahead, Blaze. Sorry.
It's good for the whole business, is what I said. And Brian from That Wrestling Podcast says it every show. Just enjoy wrestling, people. And that's what I take from tonight. I went on a roller coaster ride. I was disappointed in the show for the most part because I wanted more. I want that talking point of, man, can you believe that happened? And I told the guys on the watch along I was on, how many times does WWE do two huge comebacks? Hardly ever. They will focus on, this is Orton's night to come back. I love that. I was surprised. Good, Mord.
No, I see. To go back to the thing about Cody, planning the other event, I didn't look at that as a dig as much as I looked at it as an acknowledgement of what he's done without saying anything that can get them in legal trouble.
That's the difference, though. WWE won't. AEW does. This is kind of, and I have favored AEW more because that's my style a little bit more, and a lot of people shit on it. I don't mind that. They represent kind of like how the territories used to be. People bitch about all the belts or whatever, but they're honoring all the other companies that are out there, giving shine to some people who like the New Japan people who I don't get to watch New Japan, but I love Zack Sabre Jr. I love Will Ospreay. You get to see them there. They show off the AAA guys, the CML guys, the GCW guys. That's different than what I want when I watch WWE. I don't want them to be the same. I wouldn't like them to be the same.
Well, no, and that's where I'm saying I think they were more acknowledging what Cody has done in the industry than taking a dig, because Cody's their guy now. So they're still, pumping their guys, but they were still acknowledging the fact that he's done things other than, which, if you've noticed, they started doing that with like Santos. They talked about his time in Lucha Libre and all that before WWE.
And I love that's AAA.
They've been loosely acknowledging people's prior histories.
I don't mind that. I love and Triple H said it tonight. He said it's a new era. It's a different time, and people change. So I asked these guys earlier, Jason, and I want your take on it. We saw Cody, we saw Jade, now we got Punk. Who's next?
Realistically, I think it's going to be Ricky Starks. He's a Cody guy. When I was at WrestleMania in LA and even in Dallas last year, I saw Ricky Starks walking around. That's Cody's guy. We all know that. I feel like MJF has re-signed with AEW.
Same.
Yeah.
Because if he did not, I think he would have lost to Jay White on this past weekend. So I think Ricky Starks is realistic, and not that it's a huge deal, but I would not be surprised if a guy like Big Bill would go back there. Hobbs, maybe. But if we're talking definite, I'm thinking Ricky Starks. But here's another thing too, that we could get that defection from WWE over to AEW. We still don't know if McIntyre re-signed his deal or not. So
that's a
that's a really good point.
Because that story came out right before, well before whatever the London show All In was. So I had said all along, I'm like, hell, go to AEW, make a ton of money, be the main guy for 2 or 3 years, come back to WWE when he's 40, and then finish out there with a couple Mania main events. But and then my not dark horror, whatever that right? Long shot.
There you go.
Long shot. You know what's funny, Blaze?
We're gonna have a soundboard battle here.
I got one of those too. Sometimes it doesn't.
Oh, get down! That's the girl in the basement that I got trapped down there. I'm sorry. It's Tony Storm.
No, long shot would be Britt Baker for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. And you can't blame any of them for grabbing the bag. You really can't.
So I don't know. I mean, I think that's what the whole, I love wrestling. I always have. That is, I don't know, a night like tonight. Like I said, I enjoyed the show, and the Punk thing really, I mean, it literally got me out of bed.
Yeah. I said it earlier, Jason. I was on a watch along. I was just popping in between because they were ahead of me. I didn't want spoiled, and we were ready to sign off.
Yeah,
we were like, it's over, it's done, and then his music hit. I want you to know, by the way, your buddy Doc is bitching out on coming on the podcast right now. He just sent me a message, and I said, Jason's on here. Why don't you stop in? He goes, have fun. So give Doc shit for not stopping in here tonight. He's still at Denny's.
He probably still is at Denny's.
They have Wi-Fi. Duh.
He didn't text me. Brian from that wrestling podcast, he texted me. So
what was his thought on the outcome tonight?
Well, it's funny. So Brian and I are in our show group text, and then Brian and I are also in a group text with a friend of the show, his barber Ryan. And I
always think you're saying Barbara Ryan, but it's the Barber Ryan. I got
Ryan the barber.
Yeah.
When Ryan first started coming on, I just referred to him as Brutus. That didn't go very well. But Ryan sent a photo, the photo backstage of Triple H and CM Punk, and then Brian wrote "My God," and then it was the same shit in both group text. Brian is not pleased because he listened to our recap where I gave him shit about being the host of our show, but not watching Survivor Series. So, but he has a wife and 2 kids and stuff, so I get that. Even though the gimmick is I give him shit. So, I don't know. It is nights like tonight where I just have fun with it. I don't give a shit about buy rates and ratings.
Yeah, me either.
I never have.
Hey Jay, you talked about this too. Is how the kids love. Being a kid when watching wrestling. I've heard you a ton of times. I mean, imagine how a kid would have loved tonight's show. You got all the stars and a bunch of surprises at the end.
I always say that you should watch wrestling like kids do.
Yeah.
Last Saturday, literally, I took my niece and my 2 nephews to a house show in Canton. Now they didn't know anything about wrestling.
What's this?
Oh, that's Brian.
Hi, Brian. There he is. I was just giving him props. What's happening? They're duplicating.
I took my niece, and he also has access to our YouTube channel. So
there you go. Oh shit. Jason, I mean, there could be a feud starting here.
No,
and I'll give you a hint. It's not Doc.
Is it Ray?
It's clobbering time,
you fucking cunt.
I just saw Ray yesterday at the outlet mall. But real quick, Ray.
Yeah, finish your thought, Jay.
I took my niece and nephews to a house show last week in Canton, and we were in the second row. And my niece is 14, so there was just a lot of moping around. And then finally, when Chad Gable came out, she kind of thought it was funny, and then I just kept giving her shit. I'm like, thank you. And finally, I made her laugh. And then she got me, and she's like, "Shoosh, please."
Oh, that's good.
The boys loved Gunther, and they loved Omos. I think it's just because they're so big.
Yeah.
But yeah, my big thing is just watch wrestling like kids. Cheer the good guys, boo the bad guys. Just have fun because that's what it's all about.
And that's what we say. Everyone has a WrestleSense. Whether you like this, hate this, like that, hate that, it's okay. Everyone's allowed to have their own opinion about wrestling. And I think that's the beauty of it, in my opinion. And it's just, I don't know. Ray, what'd you think about the end of the show? He just got done watching it.
Yeah, literally, me and Bobby just finished watching SmackDown, Survivor Series. Honestly, I thought it was a great show. I knew something was coming up because you guys were in the chat going, "Oh, we're going live right now. We're doing this right now."
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We had friends. No, I'm just saying. You didn't
that was like LOL when it happened. They're like,
"What's going on?" And we saw Orton come out. Orton looks completely sauced. Dude is twice the size he was when he left. Great spot with McDonough. I really love the Rhea Zoe match. That's all I'm going to go into about that. I'm sure we'll talk about it more Thursday.
Yeah,
but I like how WWE even put the graphic up that it was over. They put the little corner copyright stamp in it, everything. And I'm like, man, Bobby had his buddy Nick that he's going to Mania with message him and be like, dude, I ain't going to spoil it. You guys said you ain't going to spoil it. I'm like, that can't be it. They can't just be freaking out this much over, an RKO from the top. And then when his music hit, goosebumps again. We've all been played 100 times by this. It's not as big as the return whenever he came for TNA, but
yeah,
it's still one of those but it's still one of those moments that elicit a response from a wrestling fan, man.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
it still gave me goosebumps. That's still my guy. I realize he's a douchebag.
I want your take on this. We talked about it earlier. Who should he fight? And should he just be a fucking punk? Tease all the backstage drama. Act like a punk. Like no one wants him here. I say play it up. What do you think?
No, because they're not going to play into all the controversy from AEW.
You don't think?
I honestly feel like they're going to do the same thing with Cody. They're just going to act like he never left as far as the booking goes. And if they're going to use anything into the feud, it has to be the Seth Rollins interview where he called him a cancer.
Yeah. Did you hear about Seth's off the camera reaction tonight?
No, I did not.
Go to Twitter.
He flipped him off and all this as he left after the show.
And honestly, I think that's where they're going because let's be honest. Okay, if you're building towards WrestleMania and you're Triple H, you're a booker. What are your two biggest possible matches you could have right now? We're going to have Cody and Roman. We know that's the way that's what everybody wants. They want him to finish the story, whether he legit does or whether Roman, falls into the heel vortex again or whatever. That's what everybody wants. But there was never really an opponent for Seth. I mean, not a clear-cut one that like you absolutely want to see. Well, we have that now, boys.
Yeah.
And whether this is a 6 month, I'm interested to see if the contract comes out because
that's what I said too.
I have a feeling it's a 6 month agreement,
right up to Mania,
and he signed through Mania, and we'll see what happens after that. And I'm interested to see the way that. Did anybody watch the press conference yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did they say anything about him there?
They had one question, and Triple H just said it's a new era, it's a new time when people change.
Said 10 years. He goes, if you're the same person you were 10 years ago, then you need help.
And I get that. So, and Punk's angle is going to be, it's Vince isn't there anymore. Endeavor now owns it. And I've always had a great relationship with UFC and blah, blah, blah. I mean, technically, he still works for UFC. He works for a sister promotion, one of their minor league promotions, and does commentating for it. So, I mean, the inroads were there, but he's too. We said this whenever the AEW stuff happened. He's too big of a star for someone not to take a gamble.
Yeah, his shirt will be number one by Tuesday.
Guaranteed.
It's going to be number one.
It might be tonight.
Minutes.
And then you have the same token. You have the same thing too, where like right now, if you go on trending anything.
Yes.
Bobby, as soon as it happened, went on. He's like, it's trending worldwide, number one.
Yep.
Of course it is.
So Seth Rollins tweeted November 13th, 2019, fight me at CM Punk, which is kind of funny. Drew McIntyre apparently stormed out tonight, threw his hoodie on, and left the arena. There is video of Rhea Ripley making fun of the CM Punk hitting the clock, flipped him off. Like,
wow.
The story that came out today was that they were all told it's not happening.
Yeah. Triple H said in the scrum, hardly anybody knew. Even people from TKO probably said, holy shit. And look, Barbara Ryan said that the WWE shop has already crashed.
Yeah. No surprise. I mean,
it's money. He's money. Like him or not, he's fucking money, man.
Dollars. It makes sense.
This could be.
Yeah, I mean, all the hype surrounding too, like he was going to go to TNA or Impact, whatever you want to call him at this point. Like he's not going to go there and make $80,000 a year. He can make more than that if he just decided to go on the damn.
Probably made more than that already tonight.
Well, I'm just saying, if he decided to go on the actual circuit of doing autograph signings and stuff, he can make more than that. He was never going there. It was either New Japan, who I don't even think New Japan would really shell out the money that he would probably be required for more than a one-off.
Well, take it for what it's worth. PW Insider saying a 3-year deal.
Probably that's surprising to me.
Yeah,
I think the idea of a 6-month run makes sense with like a player option or a company option. But look, you get him for 3 years, put him in a video game, give him a Legends deal. And give him the retirement in the Hall of Fame.
Boy, Fight Forever has Jade. They have CM Punk. Got a bunch of people that aren't even in AEW anymore in that game.
Well, every wrestling game has that. But the bottom line is like Jason just said, it's money.
Yeah.
I mean, CM Punk's name, the attention he brings is 100% money. This is going to be a huge thing. Every show like us, every show not like us is going to be talking about this. And what they think. Obviously, we're live on a fucking Saturday night.
1 a.m.
1 a.m. Because of this. It's a no-brainer for WWE if you're looking to move the needle. And it's a no-brainer. Like, okay, so if Drew's pissed off, they're going to throw money at him. Drew's always pissed off, honestly, anymore. And I liked the character development of him. Tonight was the best character work I've seen from Drew McIntyre. Not just tonight, but like his promo on Monday.
I like him better as a heel. I've always liked him better.
As a heel. His promo Monday, his facial expressions tonight while he was in the little waiting cage. His whole Priest. His
telling
whole
him not to get out the
once
cage.
he got in the cage of just beelining for Jay and taking everybody out. Like, that's great. But let's be honest, and I'm not knocking Drew McIntyre. Can you sit there and with a straight face as a
try?
I hate the term mark, but as a smart mark, as a smart wrestling fan, can you legitimately tell me that Drew McIntyre is a bigger draw than CM Punk?
Not even close.
No.
That's my point exactly.
Drew,
so
yeah, you're right.
So Drew, know your role in the pecking order and shut the fuck up. You want to storm out and be mad, be mad. We'll see you Monday night. You know what I'm saying?
I really just want to know if it was true that they were all told he is not here. Like, that is the thing that I love to know.
So many dirt sheets, and the one person that I do normally go to is Sean Ross Sapp in Fightful, and he said he spoke. I watched it today and yesterday. He said they've been telling everybody there's no plans for it. So,
but I mean,
why not surprise
to.
everybody?
I was going to say you have to, though. I mean, yeah, the smartest business move you can make is have this be a complete surprise, because again, now it's trending. So there was no leak. There was the only leak that came through was that his music got remixed, or like somebody remixed his music or whatever. But that could have been for anything.
Could have been
nothing.
And
earlier this week, there were published reports they were selling Pepsi products in Chicago. So that was like a dead giveaway.
That had to be it. But I mean, the big news tonight, let's not get it twisted.
All I can.
The big news tonight is that R-Truth came back, bottom line. That is the huge news. R-Truth is back.
Yeah, everybody's going to be talking about a return. And look, to anybody that is butthurt on the WWE roster, this would be my response as Triple H. There's a little one and a bigger one for you. Shut up, we're making money.
Hey, everybody here, I'm sure, has had a job where you worked where you didn't like somebody that you worked with.
Yeah, I work with you every Thursday, Greg.
Yeah, every Thursday. Yeah. I mean, Jason just said how much he can't fucking stand Joe, and they do a podcast every week.
Me and Joe do.
I mean,
it's everywhere.
You sure it has to be one job?
Or every job?
Hey,
I don't like you, Mordred.
I'm excited.
I can understand you, but we're working
I'm
together.
excited to see what happens.
I mean, that's nothing new for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what happens with him, though.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly, I hope that as of right now, they consider him a free agent. So I hope we see him on SmackDown too, because I would like to see the Paul Heyman interaction.
Oh,
yeah,
I didn't think of that.
He definitely needs to be a Raw guy, because, like I said, the Seth thing that's definitely the money feud for the next few months. But
you don't have him with Shinsuke at first? He's not Shinsuke's guy that he's been teasing?
You know for sure. If you don't know that that's Brock already, you're out of your mind.
I wanted it to be Brock tonight. I wanted him to come out and challenge, because they fought in New Japan. I'd love to see him and Brock fight.
Oh,
I see that as being Brock, and then I think we're going to see a spot in the Rumble where Brock and Gunther eliminate each other.
Oh,
and I think we're going to get Brock and Gunther at Mania. Again, if I had the pencil.
Please.
Okay, who's he dropping the IC title to then?
I don't think he drops it. I think he goes over Brock. I think it's for the IC title.
You think it's okay?
Yeah.
Brock's never had that title there, right?
He never has, so that would be a good storyline going in. And Brock owes people when it comes time to put people over. Taker gave up the streak for you and put you over for that last run. You put Gunther over and you like it.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's almost what the character needs. Like, I don't want to say Gunther's getting stale, because he's not. Like, the match with The Miz, that was the best match The Miz has had in
a long
5
time.
years.
Yeah, it was good. And there were some really good false finishes where a lot of people
when he kicked him in the dick, I thought it was over. I mean,
yeah, so did I.
I was like, yeah, this is how they get the belt off of him. But, it wasn't. And like I said, I mean, if you're building, the bottom line is they build to WrestleMania. They always build to WrestleMania.
True.
Royal Rumble starts the build to Mania, but really the build to Mania kind of starts now. You have to start aligning things.
Yeah, we're getting Jay and Jimmy. We're getting, there's a lot of things already projected to happen.
And that's the thing right there, man. I mean, if you want to start building these feuds, you have to start laying it out now. It's one of the things that I hate, and I'm gonna go off on a little, not a tangent here, but a little thing. In the old days, when you talk to any of the old heads that worked in, like if you talk to Kevin Sullivan, if you talk to, the guys who were booking and working closely with Vince, the way wrestling was booked back in the day prior to, the last 20 years is we book Mania and we work backwards. You book your big show. When I was working the indie scene, regardless of what company it was for, like when I was working for RWA as the pencil in the background as a booker and a producer, I booked our 1 year anniversary show and I worked backwards. I'll take a year that the 1 year anniversary show, our main event was always going to be Ryan Mitchell versus Sterling James Keenan, which is now Corey Graves on WWE. That was always going to be our main event. We knew it 4 months out, 5 months out. We knew that's where we were going. So now that's all I was doing month by month is how do I get there? How do I keep it interesting? How do I make this a match that all 250 people come into the venue want to see, but is also going to sell me a couple hundred DVDs too, because that's all that really matters. This was pre IndyWrestling.us where everything could be purchased online, but now it would be the same thing. And that's all WrestleMania wants. They need to fill Lincoln Financial Field for 2 nights. They need to sell a shit ton of merchandise. They need everybody talking about it. So how do we do that? And if you're booking that out right now, those are the matches I want to see. I want to see Cody finish the story. I want to see Punk and Rollins. I want to see Gunther and I want to see Brock. Jimmy and Jay, I don't want to see, but we know that's where they're going. They've said they wanted that match. They've been workhorses. They deserve that match. I want to see an implosion of the Judgment Day. I want to see Drew kick Damian Priest out.
That white shirt today. I don't need an implosion for like.
I'm not saying
they look great. They look great as a team tonight.
They did.
I think Priest
Bullet Club masks.
Priest taking the pin, just like Bailey taking the pin in the other one, are going to be catalysts for changes.
They better be.
Yeah.
And I see Priest going babyface, and I see Drew taking over as the unquestioned leader, because then also you have an entire foreign stable: McDonough, Finn, Rhea, McIntyre, and I'm gonna say Drew or Dominic technically is kind of foreign because he's a luchador from South San Diego.
Well, Eddie's his dad, so
yeah. So. But I definitely see something like that happening. I mean, like I said, if you're smart money, if that's how you're booking, that's how you should be booking. And I think that they've gotten away from that in the last 20 years. But I feel like Triple H books that way. If you look at the way he booked the Sammy Roman feud, the whole bloodline, once they realized how over Sammy was, they knew Sammy wasn't. Anybody was smart that was a smart wrestling fan knew Sammy was not beating Roman Reigns.
Wow.
They knew that was not going to be the Mania match. They knew that. Everybody knew it. Let's be honest. So how do you book it out to keep Cody and Roman interesting, but also pay off this Sammy storyline? And the way they did it was great. Everybody wanted to shit on it at the time. But that pay-per-view match is another one that you can go back and watch at any time of Sammy in Canada getting his title shot, that crowd response, and you're going to get goosebumps. The hair on your arm is going to stand up.
Yeah. It's
just the same as if you go back and watch Cena versus RVD or Cena versus Punk in Chicago. Those are matches that the crowd response is so illicit that they are going to bring up feelings and bring up emotion in you, whether at any time. But that was masterfully done. And I think that is a foresight into the way Triple H books. He looks out and comes back. And I think that's all we're seeing right now is Punk came available. He probably had an initial phone conversation with him to see where his head's at, asked him about the AEW shit, asked him about, what he's trying to do to end his career. Triple H probably put in his head dude, this is your last chance for a real run.
Yeah.
It's now or never. I need you to come in and be a locker room guy. I need you to come in and not be this fucking controversy magnet. And if you do so, I will give you what you always wanted. One of your biggest complaints when you left WWE was you never got the main event WrestleMania. I will give that to you. One of your biggest things is what you were never a cornerstone guy even when you were champion. I will give that to you. But in return, I need a good fucking soldier.
I wonder about Tony Khan.
Tony Khan's a bitch-ass motherfucker.
I want to be a fly on the wall here with him tonight. I said that earlier. I said, I'd love to be a fly on the wall wherever Tony Khan is tonight.
Oh, man.
Well, he was talking to Bodie. Did you guys see the pictures?
I did. I wish. Oh, that'd have been amazing. Doc wouldn't have asked Tony Khan when he takes his Tony.
Dude, that would have been the most money thing that Doc could have ever done in his life. And we need to give him endless shit because he didn't.
I'm giving him shit because he's at Denny's and he won't pop in the show one time and show us who's all there. And
Denny's, let him go.
I'll make sure to give him shit.
He's drowning in a bowl of ranch right now.
Real quick,
Jason
guys.
was having a thought there, though, that we interrupted. I was making fun of Doc. So where were you going?
Oh, it was this.
Tony Khan's a bitch-ass motherfucker.
That's Brian too, isn't it?
It is Brian. Yeah, he I got this roadcaster, and like now it's more about like, yeah, I make social clips and stuff of our show, but I just wait for that like thing.
Yeah. Doc and CJ both went to it. CJ was on earlier. That's Brian, and we heard him live. Yeah, Doc and CJ were there. We'll get more take on how that went down on Thursday. I want to get some final thoughts. We're closing up on 2 hours. Speaking of Cody Hagan, what's up? What's your final thought? What's your final thought? Quick,
Okay.
hurry up!
Will you just give me time, please?
Hurry up!
Yeah, I'll give you time. I will say this. This was by far the best Survivor Series ever in the Triple H era.
Come on.
Come on, both.
There's only 2 in the Triple H era.
Come on, Cody.
Did you just boot him for that?
I always fuck it, Cody. Go ahead, finish your thought, Cody. We got another fucking.
I mean, let's be
15
fair.
minutes.
Last year's Survivor Series and this year's were so fucking good. There we go,
Love you,
Cody.
Cody. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot,
Okay,
buddy.
I am happy that CM Punk is back because I last watched him at the Royal Rumble. Fuck you.
I bet you can't get a boner. I bet you can't get a boner. I bet you can't get a boner.
Okay, never mind. I enjoyed this pay-per-view, and I'm happy Punk is back. It's interesting because we don't know what's going to happen on Monday. And plus, we could see CM Punk sitting in the ring starting Raw, and we get a pipe bomb.
Thank you. Cody, you always give me a pipe bomb. I love it. Thanks, bro. Morgan, a nice surprise that you came on, my friend. I'm so glad that you joined us. The East Coast bastard, Mordred Nightwalker. Not a lot of people from the podcast. I've been at odds with him, but great guy. So give us your final thoughts on tonight, my friend.
Final thoughts on it is that, to sum it all up, like I said, I didn't think the best of the show. I put it in their mid-range, but the overall effects of it, I think it's going to be a great time to be a wrestling fan again.
Amen. Jason, totally unexpected, and I figured since you were in the chat, throw you the link, get your thoughts going forward. What's and definitely check out that wrestling podcast here on YouTube.
We're sorry to cut you off there, but we're on the March.
I was going to give you a really big intro. Good.
We're almost to 3,900 YouTube subscribers, and it's something that wasn't meant to be a thing. It became a thing, and we're trying to get this. So at that wrestling podcast on YouTube, subscribe would be cool. Like I said, we put out a new show every Friday, and then occasionally, like tonight, when big things happen, we throw out a bonus or and other things are in the works for 2024. I didn't know you guys were even doing this tonight.
I didn't either.
I was uploading Hours, which is on. You can check it out now. I was like, oh, those guys are on, and then I didn't recognize anybody except Blaze. So I was like, oh, all right. So,
yeah, the community that I have built here over 6 years. There's so many people that put their characters into my e-fed that I wanted I wanted their take because it was a surprise. I was surprised, and that's what I look for. I look for title changes, comebacks, some kind of surprise when I see, especially a pay-per-view or a PLE. And I was hanging on the edge there, but they did it. They brought me back in, and just like I said, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan, and I'm looking forward to what's going to happen in the future. So your final thoughts is I'm glad you're here, Ray. Final thoughts on what's going to be a pretty historic night in wrestling, hopefully going forward even.
I mean, I gave you guys a bunch of thoughts when I came on here. I feel like I talked a lot, but you know how I am when it comes to Punk. That's my guy.
Yeah.
Me and Bobby were talking about that. It's my guy. It's always going to be my guy. I watched him on Wednesday night Impact pay-per-views when he was Ravens Flock. I watched him in ROH. I've watched his entire career. I get that he's a dick. I watched him job out the CJ Sensation in the Uniontown VFW.
What?
Yeah, he beat CM Punk.
Sensation pinned him clean for the Super Indy title at the Uniontown VFW.
First time I ever saw CJ.
Said I do to his first ex-twat.
25-cent beers go down really good at the VFW back then.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see what happens. Like, if it was me again booking, like he said, Monday night, man, Raw's going to be interesting. I would have Punk come out. I would have Punk sit at the top or in the middle of the ring with the microphone, start a pipe bomb, and then we have Rollins come out in the OOs, and I'd go right into the feud, man. I'd go right into them arguing with it, and I'd have CM Punk challenging Rollins, and Rollins saying, "You've been gone for 8 years.
Yeah, you left.
You're not getting a title shot. You have to earn it. Win it in the Rumble." And then we get this whole storyline of redemption for Punk where he's not going to win the Rumble. No. I don't want him to win the Rumble. Honestly, I don't want Cody to win the Rumble either. So one of them has to win the Rumble, but we'll get there. But either way, that's what I want to see. Is I want to see now Punk chasing Rollins and being a complete douchebag because he needs to come back full heel. He's a hated person now. Outside of Chicago, he's going to be booed. We know this. Now, granted, I don't think it's going to be as bad because I think the casual WWE audience is going to love him and the fact that he was gone.
He's new to a lot of people, though.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
All these kids that are teenagers, they ain't never saw him in WWE.
It's going to be interesting. And like I said, at least it gives something truly interesting. And I feel like they needed a way to get Cody off of Raw because Raw has been built around Cody. But Cody needs to move to SmackDown somehow or start going to SmackDown somehow to rebuild the Roman feud. Maybe not yet, but by the Rumble, it has to happen.
Well, there's no other pay-per-views until the Rumble. So
yeah, true. They got the NXT one in a couple weeks, but and then Rumble. So I will be live tomorrow at 1:00 for Red Zone action. I'll give the play-by-play for all the football games to watch the Steelers lose to another backup quarterback, probably. But there you have it.
You're a
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, everybody that rhymes with Ray and Jay and everyone out there. Check out the wrestling podcast. See you Thursday for WrestleSense. Our truth is back. It's huge news, everybody. We out of here.
See you guys.
Is this like our show? Am I supposed to talk over this thing?
Well, we did it before, so why not do it again? I mean, it's always been the shtick to say dumb shit, unmute, and then say dumb shit during the outro.
True. Hey, look.
Fuck Fuji. Fuck Nia Jax. Oh, Jason likes Nia Jax. My bad. You gotta unmute yourself. It's a WrestleSense thing.
Am I muted? I'm not muted.
No, you're not. Jason is. Cody will say something. He can't unmute himself either. Click on the microphone that has the little bar across it. You should unmute it.
Oh, well, fuck everybody. Goodbye.
Yeah, fuck Fuji. And Doc, I'm gonna get you for that shit, Doc. Thursday, you're mine, son of a bitch. Danny Schmenny, you fucking prick.
Oh, I figured out how to
unmute.
No.
Where's Tony Khan to send us off?
Yeah. Heard my name again. It's like Beetlejuice.
Thank you, Tony Khan, for being a part of the show. You rock, my friend.
All right, Blaze. Thanks, bro. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Appreciate you, my friend.
No problem, man. We'll talk soon.
Peace.